Welcome to the Couch Potato Show. This is episode 8, and once again this week I'm joined by Frank Pederini and Eric Bender. How are we doing today, boys?
Way better than you can look at that scoreboard.
Yeah,
I'm marvelous.
It's over here. It's not looking good. All right, so let's get straight into it. So last week we made picks for the Brickyard 400. Frank, you took Kevin Harvick, and he ended up winning. Eric, you took Denny Hamlin, who had a late tire blow on one of the final laps and choked out. And I took I originally had Jimmy Johnson when we filmed, and then 20 minutes after we stopped the recording, he actually tested positive for coronavirus. So I got to repick, and I picked Kurt Busch, but he still lost, so it didn't even matter. So Frank gained points there. And so this week we're picking the Quaker State 400 at Kentucky. And we're doing a new way of picking NASCAR races. So the person at the bottom of the leaderboard here, that's me, they'll make their first pick, and then my finger disappeared. There. Person in second will then make their pick, and they cannot choose the person that the person prior chose. And then the person at the top will pick, which was Frank, and he cannot choose what me and Eric picked. So we had Frank prepare for 3 different picks just in case. So I'll start it off. And no surprise here. I'm going with the pole sitter, Kyle Busch.
No, so surprising. I'm shocked.
He's on the pole this week. It's destiny. All right, Eric, who you got?
You know what? I know I was supposed to prepare 2 picks, but I kind of knew you were going the Bush direction. So luckily,
yeah, I just prepared 2. Honestly, I didn't pick a third.
Yeah,
it's kind of pointless.
So luckily, he's been very cold lately. I'm aware of that, and I've selected him, I think, a few times. But in my opinion, Martin Truex Jr. He's starting in the 9th spot. Only has 1 win this year, and I believe he won this race in 2017, 2018. I think he's bound to get that second win on the season here at Quaker State 400.
Frank, who you got?
You guys blow. You literally took my top 2. So I guess I gotta go with my third choice, which is Joey Logano. I'm stuck with him, I guess. Every time I pick Logano, he loses, but it's all right.
All right. Well, we'll see. All right. We're going to then move on to the UFC main event on Saturday, which is between Usman and Masvidal. So I'll go first. I'm going to take Usman, the champ, defending the belt. And, that's pretty much it. Eric, who you got?
Yeah, I got Usman. I think he's going to out-wrestle him for 5 full rounds, and he will defend the belt versus the very hyped Jorge Masvidal.
Frank?
Got a clean sweep. I'm going to take Usman as well. kind of an easy choice. But.
Yeah. All right, so we're also picking 2 more fights that are on the UFC card for UFC 251. Those will be on Instagram. We're not going to film those. Follow us on Instagram, and you can see those picks. Now we're going to move on to baseball. We're going to make picks for 2020 baseball season. We'll start with the division winners. Now, I think it's safe to say that we all have the same AL East and NL West division winners in the Yankees and the Dodgers.
Yes.
So
Correct.
We're going to skip over those. We're going to go right to the AL Central. Frank, who do you have for the AL Central?
I'm going to take the reigning champion. I'm going to take the Twins. I really like their power. Their lineup's really nice. They got Josh Donaldson now, which is a great addition. And the key for me for the Twins is probably the starting pitching. Now, they added Rich Hill, but it's like over the past few years, the Twins starting pitching has struggled a little bit. So, like, if they get that going, they're going to be really good.
Eric?
Frank mentioned it before we started filming that Tyler would select the White Sox. Maybe he did, but I too selected the White Sox. I love the additions. They made great acquisitions during the offseason. I got Chicago.
I don't know where you guys got the White Sox from for me picking. I'm going to take the Twins, reigning champs. I think they have the second best chance at winning the AL pennant this year, just the Yankees. So I'm taking the Twins. Let's move to the AL West, and I'll start it off because I have a bit of a surprise here. I'm going to take the A's. Just a little. I don't think the Astros are going to be quite the same. They're losing obviously Garrett Cole, and they have a couple guys that they've lost, especially the manager because he got suspended. But yeah, I'm going to take the A's. Eric, what about you?
I'll take the Astros. I see your point there, but I don't know. I think they still got what it takes to run away with the division.
Frank?
I'm going to take a team that neither of you guys took. I'm going to take the Angels.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a great couple additions. Anthony Rendon. Joe Ohtani's going to pitch again. Mike Trout, if he plays, we don't really know. If he doesn't play, then I'm screwed. But for right now that he's playing, I'm going to take the Angels.
All right. Let's go to the NL East. Eric, who you got?
I got the Nats picking the Nationals. They're going to win the NL East.
Frank?
I'm going to take the Braves, a team that won the division last year. I was going to pick the Mets, and then I remember Noah Syndergaard is out for the year, so I couldn't pick the Mets anymore.
All right. We're all going to have a different champion here. I'm going to go with the Phillies with new manager in Joe Girardi and a shiny new shortstop in Didi Gregorius. I think they're going to get it done.
My boy. Miss him already.
All right. Let's go to the NL Central. Frank, who you got?
I'm going to take a team that had an amazing offseason. I'm going to take the Reds. I think the key additions for them, their new additions to Castellanos, Trevor Bauer, and Mike Moustakas is going to play really well for them. So I'm going to pick the Reds.
Eric?
I'm going to go Cubs. I love David Ross in the managerial role. I think they have what it takes.
So no one's going with the Brewers here. I'm going with the Reds too. I'm going with the offseason champs, the Reds.
I didn't think the Brewers had the pitching to survive. I say that every year. They did the last 2 years. But.
Although does pitching really matter as much in a 60-game season?
Not as much, but I couldn't name a single starting pitcher they have.
So. All right, so we all have the same in the NL West, so that would be the Dodgers. All right, so let's move on to postseason awards. AL MVP. And I'll start us off. I got Gleyber Torres. Now hear me out. Hear me out. The Yankees are going to have injuries this year.
As they do.
Whether people like it or not, they're going to have injuries. Gleyber Torres was the only player to stay healthy the entire year last year. And he could start out really – basically, the way I see AL MVP being awarded is they're gonna give it to a player on a team that probably has the best record. I think the Yankees are going to be that team. And Gleyber Torres has the opportunity to just start hot. You don't need to stay hot that long, being only playing a 60-game season. So I think he can get it done. Plus, he's great defensively. And they're starting to take that into account more and more every year. So, Eric, who you got?
I'm going to go Alex Bregman. In each season, yeah, I know. The batting average keeps getting better. Not that this will come into play, but the home runs keep on adding up more and more. I just see, last season, I think he had 296, 423 on base, 41 bombs, 112 RBIs. I really think this is Bregman's year.
Frank?
I'm going to go a different Yankee, but not in right field. I'm going to go Giancarlo Stanton because bold. But if he stays healthy, people forget. He was the NL MVP 2 years ago. Last season he was healthy. He had 60 home runs. I think he's the scariest hitter in the American League when he's healthy. So I'm gonna go Stanton.
All right. Let's go to NL MVP. Eric, who you got?
My money's on Mookie. He has ridiculous.
Bro, you're picking like the Yankees' enemies. Like next, you're gonna pick Justin Verlander for the Cy Young.
You just wait.
I already know. Look at him.
You wait, but yeah, this guy's so well-rounded. He's proven he could hit 30 more long balls. Great batting average in his MVP year in 2018, I believe. Dodgers have a lot of great names in that lineup, so it's going to force pitchers to pitch to him at the top of it. Can't really work your way around him. So I think this season, NL MVP is going to be Mookie.
Frank?
I'm going to take a guy that finished, I believe, 5th last year in NL MVP voting. I'm going to take Ronald Acuna Jr. of the Braves. He's a great young player, led the league in stolen bases last year. He's going to be their key to the world. If they're going to get to the World Series, it's going to be because of him, not because of anybody else. So I'm going to take Ronald Acuna Jr.
I'm gonna agree with you there. I think Ronald Acuna Jr. is gonna be really good this year. He was great at the start of the season last year. If it weren't for Cody Bellinger and Christian Yelich, he would have been the obvious MVP choice through 60 games last year. So I'm gonna go with Acuna. All right, let's go AL Cy Young. Frank, who you got for AL Cy Young?
I'm going to take the Yankees' shiniest new toy. I'm going to take Garrett Cole. Second half of the year last year was by far the best pitcher in baseball. It wasn't even close. And the only reason he didn't win last year is because Justin Verlander had a magnificent first half that he carried throughout the rest of the season. So I'm going to pick Garrett Cole for this
year. Eric, who you got?
Frank, you called it. I'm taking Verlander. Last year.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm telling you, there's no bias. Over 220 innings last year, 300 strikeouts exactly. He's in his mid-30s, but I think a 60-game season's really going to help out guys who are older. Not that he showed any signs of slowing down because of his age, but I don't think a 60-game season will hurt a 36-year-old man. I'm going with Verlander.
I'm going with Garrett Cole, too. Me and Frank have a lot of the same picks here, which is not good, but I'm going with Garrett Cole. Hasn't won a Cy Young yet, which is shocking the way he's
I would have given it to him last year, but that's all right.
It's shocking the way he's been pitching the last 5 or so years and since coming to the Astros. And so far, what we saw back in March in the spring and before everything was canceled and this week with the Yankees starting their inter-squad games, he's been really good. So I think he's winning AL Cy Young. Let's go to NL Cy Young. And I'll go last here just because I have a little surprise for you guys. Frank, who you got for NL Cy Young?
I'm going to go with 3-peat for Jacob deGrom. Cy Young's going to stay in New York. He's a great pitcher, best pitcher in the National League. I don't think it's close, to be honest with you. So last year he pitched 2.43 RA, under 1 whip, 11 strikeouts per 9. The guy's just a monster. There's nothing else to it. I'm going to take Jacob deGrom.
Eric.
DeGrom is the safe pick here, but I'm going to go in a different direction. I'll take Max Scherzer. Once again, you have a guy in his mid-30s, a big strikeout guy. I could see him carrying the Nats to that divisional title, and give me Scherzer here.
I'm going to go with a guy a little out of right field. I'm going to go with Chris Paddock.
That's a great pick.
Just now, hear me out because
I agree with you. It's a great pick.
So through 60 games last year, Chris Paddock was top 3 in NL Cy Young voting, or like through 60 games.
Contention.
Yeah, contention. Obviously, third to Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom. He started off so well last year and then got hurt, and when after he came back from his injury, wasn't nearly as good. But I think with the really long offseason that we've had this year, especially you have to bring into account the Padres don't play a very hard schedule.
They don't.
They play the Dodgers 10 times. That's really about it. I mean, they're not playing.
Don't slip on the Diamondbacks though. The Diamondbacks are much improved from last year.
They're good, and so are the Rockies. Don't get me wrong. I just think that the Padres, him pitching every 5 days is really going to help them, and I think is really going to help him. And he's going to shine in San Diego this year, especially with the 60-game season.
Yeah, I got another surprise pick for you guys. I'm not going to pick him for Cy Young because I already made my pick, but I think Jack Flaherty has a solid chance of winning a Cy Young at some point.
Another solid pick.
I don't know about this year, but at some point he's going to have a solid shot at winning a Cy Young.
Definitely a sleeper pick.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll culminate to our World Series matchups. So, Frank, what 2 teams do you see playing in the Fall Classic this year?
Now, the clear choice here is the Yankees-Dodgers. So that's going to be my first answer. But that's boring.
I think that's all of our first answers.
Yeah, so we're going to skip that. We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Yankees-Braves, like back in the 90s. I think Acuna can carry them to the World Series. It's going to be the starting pitching. It's going to be the bullpen that really needs to step it up. But I think the Braves have the young talent enough to make it to the World Series, especially with the Nationals not being – I don't think they can repeat what they did last year. And the Dodgers are notorious for choking in the playoffs. So I'm going to take the Braves against the Yankees.
Eric?
Call me a glass half empty kind of guy, but once again, I anti-Yankee here. It's going to be Astros versus the Dodgers. That's what I see.
Yeah, I was torn here because I didn't know if I wanted to take the Dodgers out of the World Series or if I wanted to take the Yankees out of the World Series.
Hold on, to clarify, Eric, that's your first choice?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was your second choice.
Yes.
Okay.
So I wasn't sure whether or not to take the Yankees out of the World Series or the Dodgers out of the World Series. I'm a big history guy. If you look back at history, past, 3 years now the Dodgers have been in the World Series?
Mm-hmm.
So I think history repeats itself. I think the Dodgers are staying in the World Series this year. I have the Minnesota Twins making the World Series. I think the home run balls that they're going to hit this year, I think that's going to carry them.
Oh, we lost Tyler.
Carrying them to October, and obviously not my first choice. But I think if it's going to be anybody,
name one starting pitcher they have that can carry through in postseason.
I think if it's going to be anybody but the Yankees, I think it's going to be the Twins. Think about it though. You don't need starting pitching as much this year because you still need
a starting pitcher. They don't have a single one.
You don't need to play 200 games.
Even in 60, you need even one. They only need one, and they don't have one. I'll give you Jose Barrios because he pitched well in the beginning of last year, but then he crapped out like Chris Paddock did. Listen, I'm not gonna hate, but I don't see that happening. I'm shocked that I'm the only one that kept our Yankees in the World Series. Y'all took them out and left the Dodgers in of all teams. Eric over here, Verlander, Houston. Like, what is this? Come on, Mookie Betts. Like,
Dodgers are going to be a force, man. This is a special team we have in LA.
That happens every year. They do this every year.
Frank,
it's different.
How is it different?
Frank, the way I'm looking at it, and the way I think and I hope that Eric is, the Dodgers' road to the World Series is a million times easier than the Yankees.
I don't think so. The Braves are good. The Dodgers are really good. Obviously, the Braves are good. The Mets are good. The Reds are good. The Brewers are good. The Cubs are good.
You put the Mets into this discussion.
The Mets are good. They have 2-time Cy Young winner Jacob deGrom. They have Rookie of the Year Pete Alonso. Jeff McNeil is a borderline All-Star second baseman. They're good, man.
Crack me up, man. Crack me up.
NL's the harder route. I'm with Tyler on this one. That's more
harder or easier. NL's harder or easier?
NL's easier.
Yeah.
Because Eric just said harder. Okay.
NL's easier. AL, you got the Yankees. You still got the Rays in the AL East.
The Rays don't scare me either.
Out west, you got the Astros. You got the A's.
But the Yankees
said it yourself. You have the Angels. I mean, and then the Central, you got the Twins.
I don't know.
Possibly the White Sox. You have no idea what the White Sox are going to be.
Tyler's at a loss for words here, Frank. He's very passionate.
Tyler's just
okay. I'm telling
you. You guys said it yourself, man. Listen, I think the Dodgers are obviously really good. I don't think they're gonna be as good as last year because I don't think they can only have so many tries before the baseball gods tell them to shut the hell up.
No, we're not going based off of the baseball gods. No, I don't.
Listen, dude, a lot of good NL teams. There's a lot of good. The Cubs are really good. Don't sleep on the Cubs. They still got Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, and they still have starting pitching. The Braves are good because they added Cole Hamels, and Mike Soroka was second NL Rookie of the Year voting. 2 Pete Alonso on the Mets because the Mets are good too. Don't sleep on the Mets.
The Mets that the Yankees have to play how many times this year? How many times we play the Mets this year?
6, I think.
There you go.
The Mets aren't making the playoffs, Frank.
Yeah, no.
I didn't say they'd make the playoffs. I'm just saying.
Then how are you making an argument the NL is a hard
they
division?
could.
The Dodgers don't have to play the Mets.
I don't say they will. I said they could.
Well, the Pirates could make the playoffs, you know?
No, the Pirates don't even have a shot.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either, but I'm just saying, you know, they could.
Yeah, but you don't see me making the argument that the NL is easy because the Marlins are in it. I'm saying that it's easy because none of these teams can match up to the Dodgers.
The AL, let me put it this way. The AL is top-heavy. The NL, top to bottom, is much better, so the Dodgers are probably going to be playing better teams overall.
I don't know about that.
AL's top-heavy. You got the Yankees, Astros, Twins, and A's, and Angels, because the Angels are much improved. I said those are the top 5 teams.
You have 5 teams that are top-heavy? That's a lot of threats.
That's 5. That's 1/3 of them. The NL, top to bottom, is much better than the AL.
Give me 5 teams in the NL who are top-heavy. You don't have that.
They're not top-heavy. That's my point.
At making the World Series.
I didn't hear what you said. You cut out. What?
Give us 5 teams from the NL, besides the Dodgers, that have a realistic chance of making the World Series.
Yeah, that's my question.
All right, so Braves.
What the AL do?
Braves, Reds, Brewers, Cubs. And
No.
What?
No.
And Diamondbacks. I like the Diamondbacks. I really like the Diamondbacks.
That's awful.
No, they're not.
I don't know if you've heard, Frank, but Goldschmidt's in St. Louis now. I don't know.
And St. Louis. I didn't even mention St. Louis. I didn't even say St. Louis.
in Houston.
Yeah.
I didn't even say St. Louis. Look at that. Another team.
It's not.
Division champions last year.
No.
Tough sell, Frank.
The NL Central is 4 teams deep right now. It's a 4-team race.
I think that speaks to how bad the NL Central is, personally.
There's 4 teams in the NL Central that are really good.
Are they really good? I don't think they are.
The Cardinals won last year. The Cubs won the World Series a few years ago, and they had the same basic building blocks from 4 years ago.
Yeah, but the Cubs from a few years ago now are 2 totally different Cubs teams. They may have the same players. They may have the same players, Frank, but are they really the same team?
Potential-wise, yes.
Yeah, potential-wise, because we've seen what they've done. But they're not there.
Chris Bryant can go out and win another NL MVP. Anthony Rizzo can be an all-star first baseman.
Listen, I think the Cubs are winning the division. I think the Cubs are one of maybe 2, stretching it to say 3 teams to challenge the Dodgers. But I'm telling you,
There's at least 4 teams to challenge the Dodgers.
I don't think so. I think we've named many more teams in the AL that are legitimate threats to the Yankees.
Besides the Astros and Twins and the Rays, that's it. Maybe the A's. I'll give you maybe the A's. That's it, though.
Did you name the Angels?
I didn't name the Angels because I don't think they're nearly as good as the Yankees.
I don't know.
They're the best team in their division. They're not as good as the Yankees, though.
You named the Astros, right?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna win the division.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know, Frank. We disagree here, which is great. It's a lot of points being made up here. I love it.
A lot of points being made. Listen, man, I didn't get to first place for no reason. You know.
Yeah.
I might only be picking NASCAR and UFC, but I'm in first place for a reason.
I hope we have a good NASCAR race this week.
I think it'll be good. Oh, wait, I have a quick question for you guys. So I'm going to do this on the spot because why not? Because we have time. AL and NL Manager of the Year. Who we got?
Ooh. I can give you the NL. It's gonna be David Ross. We were just talking about the Cubs. I got a lot of faith in him. I think he's so lovable. That's in modern baseball. I think a lot of it is being an affable person, and I think David Ross is as affable as they come. People love DR. I'm telling you.
No, in modern baseball, the Manager of the Year is always the team that comes out of the league. More times than not. Not every time.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
More times than not.
That's not true.
Last 5 years. Okay, I'm gonna Google this right now while we're doing stuff on the spot.
Paul Molitor, I think, has won.
Paul Molitor won it last year
twice.
Yeah, he did win it twice.
No, Kevin Cash won it last year, and then Paul Molitor won it.
Yeah, your point is awful.
I said more times than not. I didn't say every time.
Okay, 20 just for the NL. I don't know why it's giving me this, but 2014, we have the Nats, which
I don't know who won in 2014. I couldn't tell you. Giants.
they did not win the World Series. That's my point. You Cubs.
What? Oh no, the Cubs were 2016.
Yeah. In 2017, we have the Diamondbacks.
Who was that?
No.
Tony Lavello?
Yeah, but my point is, not true. The Cubs are not making it to the World Series, but David Ross will be the manager of the year in the NL.
What about the AL? You got a pick or no?
AL. Give me Booney. I like Boone. Why not?
You like Booney? That's boring. That's all right.
I know. I got to give the Yankees some love.
One time you picked the goddamn Yankees for manager of the year of all things.
Because you know a lot of injuries are coming, as they always do with the Yankees.
As they always do.
Be able to. I'm telling you.
Ty, what about you? Who you got?
I like Joe Girardi out of the NL.
It's another good pick.
AL, you got any opinions or no?
Well, I guess Boone would be the safe pick.
Lame.
I don't know.
For AL, I'm going to go Brad Ausmus of the Angels.
We're not formally making picks, by the way, for manager of the year.
I know, just for fun. Just so I can tell you guys I'm smarter than you.
Okay.
I
have a whole background just to fucking up your ego here, and you're
damn right you do.
Manager of the year.
Yeah, because we've made lots of picks over the years, and you've been talking crap for a long time. Like your time of reckoning has finally come. And I'll probably
Frank, it's a marathon. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Well, I'm on mile 15, and you just started.
I mean,
24 miles.
What?
24 miles.
Oh, this is a special marathon, Frank. We're going up to 100. It's a real special.
It's a very special marathon, all right?
Oh, yeah.
3 idiots make picks and see how many points they can get.
Yes.
Frank, this is a 500 lap race, and we're on lap like 20, and you're bragging about being in the lead right now.
I'm cherishing it like I can, like what we do with everything.
Didn't you pick Logano for the race?
I had to pick Logano. You took my top 2 choices.
How fitting. You know, want to know what I call Frank Tyler? He gets those stage victories.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll get the stage victories all day, but at the end of the day, when you have the trophy above your head, it's not going to be Frank.
It's just not.
I'll give that to you. That was a good analogy. I'll give that to you.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Listen, man.
Perfect.
We'll see. I don't know. How many points we got up this week? Because we got the 3 UFC fights for 3 points.
We have a ton of points on the line this week. Well, this week into next week, or just making this week's episode?
Yeah, I mean, don't forget, we still have all the NFL free agents, too.
Yeah, so this week into next week. So next week, we'll have the result of 1, 2, 3. 6 points are up for grabs from this week into next week.
It's a big one.
We could have a lead change if Eric has a good weekend.
I mean, me and Eric have the same main event pick, so it's very unlikely.
Do you know who you have in the other 2, Frank? Should you make?
I have it. Yeah.
You do have it?
Yeah, I have it written down.
Want to tell me real quick, just so I know?
You want to tell you right now?
Yeah.
We did that one. The Peter Yan versus Aldo. I have.
Okay, I have Aldo.
Okay, and then Holloway versus this other guy. I couldn't tell his name.
Volkanovski.
I have Volkanovski.
Me too. But all right, Aldo will leg kick the hell out of Peter Yan, so I have confidence there.
Defending champ Peter Yan. Maybe. Honestly, I don't remember.
Yeah, it's the vacated title in that fight.
Vacated title. Sorry, my bad.
You're good.
I don't remember.
Don't worry.
I haven't made my picks yet for those 2 fights, so I'm just gonna stay quiet.
All I pick is NASCAR. Because I'm a NASCAR god at this point.
It's your wheelhouse, Frank. It's your wheelhouse.
Yeah, you guys are screwing me with these new rules. I got to go with my 3rd choice. It's ridiculous.
Listen, it's just trying to even the playing field here.
Yeah, if Tyler was in the league, we wouldn't be doing this crap.
How dare you? Conspiracy.
I initially thought of this rule when I was in 2nd. way back in the day.
All I know is that we started playing it while you were in dead last, back by 5 points. That's all I know.
All right. You didn't seem to have a problem when I proposed it, so I don't know why you have a problem now.
Because I was trying to be a good guy, but you guys took the top 2 choices right off the rip. I thought you'd at least wait a week and then take all my choices.
Wait, Eric, who did you pick for the NASCAR again?
Truex Jr., who, by the way, Frank, the guy's ice cold right now. I think he finished 13th, didn't finish.
Number 1, Kyle Busch. Number 2, Truex. Number 3, Logano. Guess who I got stuck with?
That's why I told you to make 3 picks.
Yeah, you're lucky I did.
I'm surprised no one took Brad Keselowski.
I was
thinking about taking Keselowski.
Or Kevin Harvick or Denny Hamlin.
Kevin Harvick's getting boring. I've won with him twice already.
Fuck off.
Won with Hamlin, too. It's getting boring. I got to mix it up. I haven't won with Logano yet.
But why? How did no one pick Keselowski? This race has been going on for like 9 years, and he has 3 wins.
3 wins? Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know. I was going to pick someone's got to pick Chase Elliott eventually. He's getting a little cold shoulder from all of us.
I picked Chase Elliott like twice.
Yeah, I think I picked him once or twice.
I haven't for
no, I meant like recently. You haven't picked him recently.
He hasn't been good recently.
Yeah, I mean the speedways he's been racing on the past couple of weeks, he's been like notoriously terrible at. So like, I haven't picked him.
Kyle Busch has had some really good cars in the past few weeks. Just got screwed.
You've been saying Kyle Busch for what is this, episode 8? You've been saying Kyle Busch for 7 3/4 episodes.
We have the All-Star race next week.
Are we picking the All-Star race?
Yeah, why not?
Still, I don't know. It doesn't really count for anything, so I don't know if you want to pick it or not.
It counts for us.
It does. Points are points, man.
Points are points.
I'm gonna take it home, and then you guys can. I'll take 17th pick. You guys just keep picking back and forth until I hear one that I like, and I'll take like pick 20.
There you go.
We'll be good to go.
Yeah. I hope Kyle Busch actually makes the playoffs.
If he doesn't make the playoffs, I'm laughing in your face. That'll be hysterical to me. I'll find that hilarious.
That wouldn't be good.
That would make me laugh really hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Defending champion, not even making the playoffs.
Well, how is he behind right now or no?
Hold on a second.
Can we all just agree Harvick's going to take it home this year? Come on. Who are we trying to
It's a
get?
toss-up between Harvick and him. It's like a Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire situation. It's just
No, I think Ellie has a chance. I think Chase has a chance.
No, he doesn't.
I don't know.
He doesn't.
I wouldn't pick Chase. No, I'd pick Harvick if I had to pick anybody. But I'm probably going to end up with third choice again. So one of you going to pick Harvick and one of you is going to pick Hamlin. So I'm going to be stuck with whoever's left.
There you go.
All right, so playoff standings. And I'll run through 1 through 12. This is in order. Kevin Harvick 1, Denny Hamlin, Keselowski, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano 5, 6 is Ryan Blaney, 7 is Alex Bowman, 8 is Martin Truex Jr., 9 is Eric Almirola, 10 is Clint Boyer, 11 is William Byron, and then 12, tied with 13th, is Kyle Busch.
Who's he tied with?
Kurt Busch.
How fitting.
I would not have said Keselowski was that high. Good for him, man. Grinding.
Well, it's because he won a race. If you win a race, then you...
Well, so did Blaney, and he's like all the way at the bottom.
Blaney's at 6.
Yeah, that's pretty far down. I mean, I guess all those guys in front of him also won a race this year.
There's been 8 different winners.
Really?
None of them were named Kyle Busch.
Huh?
There had to have been more than wow.
No, there's only 8. Because
Well, the NASCAR Cup Series.
Hamlin and Harvick just keep fucking winning.
Yeah, 4 each, I think.
It's like 3 or 4.
I think Harvick has 3. I think,
Yeah.
I don't know. Or Hamlin. One of them has 3. I think the other is 4.
I think Harvick has 4. I think Hamlin has 3, and then Harvick has 4.
And then, 13th is Kurt Busch, 14 Jimmy Johnson, 15 Matt DiBenedetto, and then 16 is the cutoff at Austin Dillon.
Bro, where's Bubba at? Can Bubba be in the playoffs?
Bubba's 19.
No, he's not going to get there.
Bubba's going to be in the All-Star race because there's a fan vote.
Love Bubba. Second favorite racer.
Yeah, the fan. I think he's running away with the fan vote right
Oh,
now.
of course. Who else
It's
would
not
get it?
even close.
Yeah. Is Kyle Busch in the All-Star race or no?
Yes, because he's the defending champion.
That's the only reason.
Hold on, I'll explain to you how they make up the All-Star race in a second. I have to look it up. I forget. It's very complex.
Well, no. Instead of doing that, explain these playoffs to me because I find them so confusing.
Um,
Because I know those are coming up too.
okay, so there's 16 drivers that make the playoffs. They do 2 races, and then after those 2 races, whoever's in the top 12 move on to the next round.
Now, what is the top 12 based off of? Points?
Points.
Okay.
And then they do 2 races, and whoever's in the top 8 move on. And then they do 2 races. Whoever's in the top 4 move on. And then they do 1 race, the final 4. And whoever finishes best out of those 4 racers, those 4 drivers.
So whoever wins that race wins the whole thing?
Yeah. But
Okay.
it's not necessarily who wins, because you could have somebody that's not in the playoffs win that race.
Whoever finishes the
So it's not just those 4 cars. There's more cars on the track.
Yeah, it's
There's
still,
4 in
it's still a
contention.
normal 38-man field.
Okay. I thought it was like 12 cars on the racetrack.
That would be amazing, but no.
That's what I thought. That would make sense to me. That's how I thought of it.
No.
What's the point of wasting all that fuel?
Okay, so those eligible for the NASCAR All-Star race include drivers who won a points event in either 2019 or 2020. So that would be a race or the pole at Daytona, because you get points for that.
Okay.
So any driver that won last year is in. Kyle
Kyle
Busch.
Busch.
Any driver who won this year is in. Drivers who won a
Many of those
NASCAR,
guys.
any driver that's ever won a
Besides maybe
NASCAR.
Jimmy Johnson never won.
What? What?
Has Jimmy Johnson won this year or no?
This
I don't
year,
think
no.
he has.
I don't think he did last year either.
Oh, he still got that streak going of losing races. So
Any
I forgot
driver
about that.
that's ever won an All-Star race is automatically in.
Okay.
They have to compete full time, which doesn't really apply because all the racers compete full time now. And any driver who's won a NASCAR Cup Series championship and competes full time.
So Kyle Busch.
So that would be drivers that have already clinched are Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Justin Haley, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, Eric Jones, Matt Kenseth, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Ryan Newman, and Martin Truex.
And probably Bubba Wallace from the fan vote.
And Bubba Wallace will get the fan vote.
All right.
All right, so that'll wrap it up this week for us. Next week we will review the UFC picks as well as Kentucky, and we'll prepare for the All-Star race. Yeah, signing off. Adios.